Welcome to AI Trend Talk,
I'm Isaac.
and I'm Alice. Today, we're talking about high school exams, medical school success, AI technology, global pop stars, and rules for older drivers. Let's get started.
We really do have a truly fascinating lineup for you today.
We sure do. Imagine taking a massive, super important exam,
Yeah.
and you realize that just missing two questions could mean your dream school is totally gone.
Wow. Yeah, that is a scary thought.
Right. So today, in this deep dive, we are looking at the intense pressure of performance at different stages of life.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to explore everything from Taiwanese teenagers fighting for a perfect score, to computer chips trying not to melt, all the way up to grandparents proving they can still safely drive on the road.
It really covers the whole human experience, doesn't it?
It does. So let's start with those impossible exams.
Yeah, let's do it. So we are starting right at the beginning of a young person's academic journey. In Taiwan, the junior high school education exams are just a massive event. It's a huge deal. And recently, the government released the official grading brackets for this year.
Grading brackets.
Yeah, the Chinese term is ZUD. Basically, these brackets show exactly how many mistakes a student can make and, still get the very top marks.
Ah, I see. Let's pause right there for a quick vocabulary check for you guys listening.
Great idea.
The word is grade. It means a letter or number that shows how well a student did on a test. Many junior high school students are nervous about checking their test grades today.
That's a perfect example.
Thanks. So back to what you were saying. Just how strict are these grading brackets?
Well, when you look at the actual numbers, it is incredibly strict. To get a perfect A++ score in the Chinese subject or the social studies subject this year, a student can only get 2 questions wrong out of the entire test.
Wait, really? Only 2 questions wrong on the whole test?
Yeah. And in the science subject, they can only miss 3 questions.
Wow. I mean, if you have ever tried to remember facts while someone is staring at a clock, you know exactly what these kids are feeling.
Oh, definitely. It is an unbelievable amount of pressure.
It really is. It feels like walking a tightrope without looking down. One tiny slip, just one moment where you lose your balance and you completely miss the top score.
That is a very good analogy. A tightrope is exactly what it feels like.
But I have to push back a little here. I mean, is it really fair to judge a student's entire ability based on just 1 or 2 mistakes? Why make the margin for error so punishing?
That is exactly the question many parents ask. It feels very harsh. But if we look at the mechanics of the test, it is all about the bell curve.
Right, the statistics.
Exactly. It's about filtering the absolute top % of students. Because these exams are so important, the overall skill level of the students taking them is very, very high.
Ah, so a lot of kids are doing really well.
Right. Thousands of students might get a normal A grade. So the testing center needs a mathematical way to separate the truly excellent students from the very good ones.
Oh, I get it now.
Yeah, making the top A++ score require near perfection is really the only way they can clearly identify the absolute top students in the whole country.
That makes a lot of sense. It is like an Olympic race where the winner is decided by, like, 1/10 of a second.
Yes, exactly like that.
So the pressure of those junior high exams is intense. But that pressure doesn't just disappear, right? It evolves.
It definitely does.
The reward for walking that academic tightrope is getting into a top university program.
Which actually brings us perfectly to our second topic.
It does. And we have some very exciting news from National Taiwan University, which is often called NTU.
Right, that's the top university in Taiwan.
It is. They just announced their list of accepted students for the upcoming school year.
I am sure there are many happy families celebrating today. Oh, definitely. And one school that is celebrating in a massive way is Chiayi Senior High School. They just announced that 23 of their students were accepted into NTU.
Wow, 23. That's amazing.
It gets better. What is even more impressive...
Medical school. Let's pause for another vocabulary word. The word is medical. It means relating to the study of medicine and helping sick people. My sister is studying very hard because she wants to go to medical school and become a doctor.
Excellent. And yes, in Chinese, that program is called Yitu.
Getting into medical school is difficult anywhere in the world, but NTU is on a whole other level. Now, the sources we read say this success was a huge team effort,
They do.
but I have to challenge that idea a
Wait,
bit.
Mark, why is that?
Well, ultimately, the kid is sitting in the exam room completely alone, right? You cannot, team effort your way out of a difficult biology test if your hands are shaking and you forget all the answers. So how is this really a team effort?
That is a very fair point.
Uh,
You are right, the student does take the final test alone. But let's look at how they prepare for that lonely moment.
okay, tell me more.
To get into medical school, students do not just take a written paper test, they also have to take practical tests in biology and chemistry.
Practical tests, like
With
with their hands.
Yes. This means they walk into a real laboratory. They might have a microscope, some chemicals, and, well, only 5 minutes to identify a cell or complete a whole experiment.
Oh my God.
And the judges are just standing there watching them.
That sounds absolutely terrifying. I mean, if you only read about an experiment in a textbook, you would probably panic at a real laboratory.
Exactly. And that is where the team comes in. The teachers at Chiai Senior High School spent a lot of extra time building mock laboratories to help students practice.
Oh, so they recreated the testing environment. That's smart.
Very smart. But even more importantly, the school invited older students, alumni who are already in medical school or working as doctors, to come back and train the younger students.
Ah, I see. So the older students know exactly what the judges are looking for. They know all the little psychological tricks of the test.
Yes, exactly. The alumni bridge the gap between reading a book and actually performing under pressure.
Right, because they've lived it.
Exactly. They teach the younger students how to breathe, how to organize their tools on the table, and how to stay calm. So by the time the student is alone in that exam room, they aren't really alone.
They have the voices of their teachers and older peers guiding them in their head.
Precisely.
Wow, that is a beautiful system. You know, they were passing down knowledge to help the next generation succeed.
It really is a great example of community.
It is. Now, many of those top students become brilliant doctors, obviously, but many other brilliant students choose a different path entirely.
Oh, yes, they do.
They enter Taiwan's world-famous technology industry. And speaking of building the future, the tech world is buzzing right now.
Yes, they certainly are. We are looking at a major technology company called Marvell. Have you heard of them?
I have, yeah. They are huge in the hardware space.
They are. Well, they just announced a very powerful new computer switch device called the Teralynx T100. And this machine is designed specifically for artificial intelligence, or AI.
Okay, I have to stop you there, though. We hear about new computer chips and AI devices all the time. I mean, every single week there is a new announcement.
That is true.
So why is this specific switch so exciting for the industry right now?
Well, to understand why this is a big deal, we have to look at how artificial intelligence actually works physically.
Okay.
When you ask an AI a complex question on your phone, the AI doesn't just think inside your phone.
Right, it sends it to the cloud.
Exactly. It sends the question to a giant building filled with rows and rows of thousands of computers.
Yeah.
And these buildings are called data centers.
Mm-hmm. And because these computers are processing massive amounts of information, they get extremely hot.
Yes, incredibly hot. And keeping those thousands of computers cool requires massive, massive amounts of power.
Let's pause right there for another vocabulary check. The word is energy. It means the power used to make machines work or to produce heat. For example, the new computer chip uses less energy, which is great for the environment.
Perfect.
So if these data centers are using so much energy, how does this new Marvell switch actually help?
Well, the power limit is actually the biggest problem in the AI industry right now. Some racks of computers use up to 120 kilowatts of power.
Wow, 120
Yeah,
kilowatts.
that is pushing the absolute physical limit of what normal cooling systems can handle before the machines literally start to melt.
Melt. That is insane.
It is a real danger. But the T100 switch is built differently. Because of its internal design, it uses up to 25% less energy than older models.
Okay, wow. Let me see if I understand this. Think of a normal computer chip like a busy restaurant kitchen.
Okay, I like where this is going.
If there is only one small window to pass the food through, it doesn't matter how fast the chefs cook. The food just gets cold waiting at the window.
Right.
The kitchen gets really hot, the chefs get frustrated, and everything slows down.
That is a perfect way to visualize it.
So this new T100 device doesn't just make the chefs faster. It essentially knocks down the entire kitchen wall, so thousands of plates can leave at exactly the same time, all while keeping the kitchen much cooler.
Yes, that is exactly what it does. It processes data at 102.4 terabits per second without overheating.
That number is just hard to even imagine.
It is. And that 25% energy savings is huge. I mean, if a data center uses the same amount of electricity as a small city, saving 25% is like saving the power of an entire neighborhood.
Oh, wow.
It means tech companies can pack more computers into the same room without melting the building. It removes a physical wall that was stopping AI from growing.
It is amazing how one piece of hardware can change the whole system.
It really is.
But honestly, all this talk about data centers overheating makes me realize that human beings are exactly the same.
How do you?
Well, we push ourselves to the absolute limit, just like those kids taking the entrance exams or those students sweating in the biology labs. And eventually, we just need to blow off some steam. We need to cool down.
That is very true. We all need a break.
Yes. And that brings us to a topic that is generating a lot of joy around the world right now.
Yes. Fans are incredibly excited because the famous K-pop group BTS was just announced as a performer at the 2026 iHeartRadio Music Festival.
BTS. Oh my goodness, they are absolute global superstars. When and where is this happening?
The big event takes place in Las Vegas at the T-Mobile Arena. It's happening this September, specifically the 18th and 19th.
Oh, so fans must be going crazy trying to get tickets.
They really are. Right now, fans all over the world are rushing online to find out about ticket sales because this is a massive return to the stage for the group.
I can completely understand why people are excited. But, I have a question.
Sure, what is it?
We can listen to BTS on our phones anytime we want, right?
Yeah.
We can stream their videos in perfect high definition from our living rooms.
That's true.
So why does a live event in Las Vegas create such a massive cultural phenomenon compared to just streaming music at home? What makes a festival so special?
Oh, let's pause for our final vocabulary word, actually.
Oh, great catch. The word is festival. It means a special event when people gather to celebrate music, food, or culture. The popular band will perform at a huge music festival in Las Vegas this September.
Spot on. So to answer your question about why it's so special, it is really about the shared human experience.
A shared experience, right?
Yeah. When you listen with headphones, it is a private experience. It's just you and the music. But a live music festival is a physical gathering. You have tens of thousands of people in one room sharing the exact same energy, singing the exact same words.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
That gives me goosebumps just thinking about it.
Me too. And the festival also brings many different types of music together. It's not just one genre.
Oh, really? It isn't just K-pop.
Not at all. The lineup includes artists like Benson Boone, Cardi B, the Goo Goo Dolls, and Snoop Dogg.
Wow, that is a very diverse mix of artists.
It is. But having BTS return to live shows is a unique draw because they connect millions of fans from completely different countries.
That makes sense. But what about the fans who can't fly all the way to Las Vegas?
Well, for the people who cannot travel, the festival will actually be broadcast on the radio and streamed live on Disney Plus and Hulu, so fans everywhere can still share the moment.
Oh, that is wonderful. It really is like a giant global family reunion. Music gives us a way to connect without needing to speak the exact same language.
Absolutely.
But concerts aren't the only way families connect. Sometimes connection looks like helping a family member prepare for a totally different kind of test.
That is a really smooth transition.
Thank you. Which brings us to our final topic today.
Yes, we are transitioning to the later stages of life now. We are looking at a new rule in Taiwan for senior citizens.
Okay, what is the rule?
Well, the Chinese word is which means seniors or elderly people. The new rule states that drivers who are 70 years old or older must now take special physical and memory tests to keep their driving privileges.
Keeping their licenses up to date. Let's pause for our vocabulary check.
Yes, let's do it.
The word is renew. It means to get a new official paper or document when the old one finishes. For example, my grandfather needs to pass a special test to renew his driver's license this year.
Perfect example again. So yes, drivers who are 70 or older must pass these specific tests to renew their licenses.
What exactly happens during a memory test for driving? Like, do they ask them traffic rules?
Well, it is actually very practical. It's not just about road signs. A doctor might ask the senior to draw a clock face and put the hands at a specific time.
Oh, to check their spatial awareness.
Exactly. Or they might ask them to remember 3 random objects, have a short conversation with them, and then ask them to repeat the 3 objects.
Interesting.
Yeah, it tests reaction time and short-term memory, which are absolutely critical for safe driving.
They really are. What really stands out in the sources we read is who is searching for this information online.
Yeah, the search trends are fascinating.
Right, because it isn't just the 70-year-olds looking this up. The search trends show that younger family members are actively looking up these rules to help their grandparents prepare.
Yes, and that is a wonderful thing to see. However, a lot of people initially feel angry or scared about this rule when they first hear about it.
Really? Why is that?
Well, they feel like the government is trying to take away their grandparents' independence.
Oh, I see. Right, nobody wants to lose their freedom to just go to the grocery store or visit their friends whenever they want.
What?
That'd be really hard.
Exactly. It's a huge loss of freedom. But here is a very surprising and honestly counterintuitive insight from the medical research.
Okay, I'm listening.
The goal of this testing program is not to fail the seniors and take their licenses away. In fact, medical research shows that taking away driving privileges can actually accelerate memory decline.
Wait, what? Taking the license away makes their memory worse. How does that work?
Because of isolation?
Oh,
Yeah. If an older person cannot drive, they might stay home more. They see fewer friends, they do fewer activities outside the house, and because of that, their brain gets much less exercise.
oh, that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
If you don't use it, you lose it?
Exactly. So the government actually wants them to pass the test.
That completely changes how you look at the rule.
It does, right. The goal is to identify if there is a small problem early on. That way, doctors can help them manage it, allowing them to keep driving safely for as long as possible.
Wow. It is not a punishment at all. It is a safety check to keep them independent.
Yes, exactly.
And knowing that, it is so heartwarming to see younger people going online to find out what these tests look like. You know, when we are young, our parents and grandparents help us study for our junior high school exams. And then when they get older, we help them study for their driving tests. It is just a beautiful cycle of care.
It really is a beautiful cycle. And the government is even holding events at local community centers to explain these rules clearly so families can prepare together without fear.
Well, we have covered an incredible journey today in our deep dives.
We really have.
We started with teenagers feeling the intense pressure of high school entrance exams where, every single grade matters.
And we saw how shared knowledge and alumni support help students master those scary practical tests to get into top medical schools.
Right. We also explored how new hardware, like Marvell's energy-saving computer switch, is literally breaking down the physical walls of artificial intelligence.
And then we felt the global excitement of BTS returning to the live stage, bringing millions of fans together for a festival.
And finally, we discussed how families are helping older generations navigate new driving rules to stay safely independent. It really all connects.
It does. It has been a truly wonderful discussion today.
I agree. And as we finish our deep dive today, I want you to think about this.
Mm-hmm.
Life is full of tests.
Mm-hmm.
We face intense exams when we are young, we face stressful challenges in our careers, and we face memory tests in our senior years. But what we learned today is that you rarely have to face those tests alone.
That's very true.
From the older students helping the younger ones in the science lab, to the young adults helping their grandparents renew a license. The tests themselves do not define us. It is how we share our knowledge to help each other pass that truly matters.
That is a very powerful insight. Learning and growing is a lifelong shared journey.
It is. So here is your comment challenge for today. Which of today's 5 topics did you find the most interesting and why? Share your thoughts with us in the comments below.
We always look forward to reading your wonderful answers. Thank you for learning with us today. Keep practicing your English and stay curious.
Have a wonderful week, everyone. We'll see you next time.